insurances are crucial, and it's even worse when you realize that as time goes by, you somehow have to be, in an insurance. That is, if you're growing. So sometimes we ask ourselves, does it have to be a must? Some would argue it's not helpful, but others would tell you, it has come in handy for me at a point when I needed it the most, and therefore the advice for everyone to take that. When it does not hit home, it does not make sense. The moment it does, you can almost relate and understand, oh, so this was worth the cost. It was nice that I had to chuck with, part ways with around 5,000 bob every month for purposes of this. It was worth that I had to pay like 30,000 annual, insurance for fee for purposes of making sure that I am insured or my car is insured, and so much more. And so this is a conversation that does not run out of our mouths, especially at this moment when there are lots of adjustments across, the economic sector, in terms of food, prices shooting up. In terms of insurances, you see that the prices are shooting up. It is important that as Kenyans we get to that level where we can have these discussions for proper understanding. And so this morning we focus on insurance claims. The claims bit is one that many people fight with, because they'll tell you, well, it was a hassle before, my claim went through, yet I've been loyal, yet I have focused much on making the payments in due time and all that. So Joseph Muongi, who's Principal Officer, Online Advisors Insurance Agency Limited, is here to speak to us this morning on what you need to understand about the insurance claims. But most importantly, we start off from the basic conversation. And the last time I had him here, we were talking about the fact that the government had said, this year they're going to make adjustments upward on, insurance of motor vehicles, right? Yes. At some point in time, that was shelved. But from the look of things, you said it was shelved. I think it was reported that it was shelved, and then I thought it was so until the other day I met a friend of mine, and they were just called that, oh, you need to look at your insurance, time is running out. And before they knew it, they were asking for the prices, and they had shot up by 50, to be honest. Yeah. Is it the case?
Yeah, it's the case. For most of the underwriters, the cost of insurance for motor industry, all classes, I can say all classes of motor, it was increased. The amount which it's increased by varies between companies, but most of them increased by approximately 50%. Okay. Yes.
All right. Yeah. So here we are, and we have to deal with that.
Yeah, true.
Okay. I know there's so much about insurances that we might need to learn, but let's to focus much on the claims then. Yeah. We're talking about motor vehicle claims, processes called, and the incidences that play out. Very important that we speak about this. But today, is it on the motors that we'll focus on, or generally on insurance claims?
We can focus on motor, but you can also capture the other aspects of the claims, because most people in let's say in Kenya, they're more conversant with claims related to motor.
To motors, yes. All right. So how long does it take in the moment or for an insurance company to pay claim in the event that this has been presented to them? Yeah.
So at the moment, it's quite a challenge to be able to predict accurately how long it should take.
I have dished out my money religiously. Why should it be a challenge?
So the problem is there are different factors which come in place here. So first, there's challenges related to the insurance companies. We're finding some insurance companies, according to our research, lack the adequate capital to be able to cover the claims once they occur.
All right.
So this causes a great delay.
Why would they lack the adequate capital if they are in business? Or there are people, there are some of them that do not have lots of customers, or what?
So one factor can be attributed to mismanagement. Okay. So they can be mismanagement of funds. Because the way insurance works, once you bring in your premium, once you've paid for insurance, the insurance company has a duty to invest part of that money. Okay. And they also have a duty to reinsure themselves. So if you find a scenario where the insurance company has failed to reinsure adequately, because once you come for them to pay your claim, they also have to be covered by another insurance company, which is called a reinsurance company. All right. So in the event that they didn't do that well, so it means now they have to bear most of the cost themselves. Okay. And if the higher percentage of the money which you paid as premium, let's say, wasn't invested but was spent on expenditure. So now they don't have the adequate cash to practically to pay off your claim. So this will result in a great delay before your claim is settled. Okay, and then there can also be a mismanagement. So let's say you've reported your claim, by the time it's passed on to the relevant person who is supposed to be handling it, let's say by the time it reaches finance, in between inefficiencies cause some more delays. Because technically what's supposed to happen is if it's an accident claim, within 1 month, you're supposed to be done.
Okay.
Because you give it around 1 week for them to do the assessment, get an assessment report, and allocate your vehicle to a garage. And then the garage will be given a repair authority to start repairs on your vehicle.
Okay.
So now you give your garage around 2 weeks for them to be done with all the repairs and all. And then now the insurance company has to come back again and do the reassessment. And so once they see the repairs are up to par with the inspection report which was done,
okay,
then the garage is issued a release letter to give you back your car. But now you're finding that it's reaching a point where now the vehicle, repairs which could have lasted 1 month, the vehicle is impounded in the garage to close to 4 months.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, before we even get to understanding all that, the lie underneath, after that, a claim has been made.
Yeah.
Just what is the process of making a claim?
So
the most general approach.
So the most general approach, first of all, you have to report to the nearest police station.
Okay.
If it's an accident, that is. So once you've reported to the police station, most probably, depending on the nature of your accident, the police will require you to tow your vehicle to the police station,
okay,
the police station yard. Once it's at the yard, you'll be able to get a police abstract, which you may not get immediately. So they can tell you come back at a later date, let's say tomorrow, and get the police abstract. Once you have the abstract, you need to fill in a claim form.
Okay. And
it's also good practice. Immediately it happens, you call maybe your intermediary, that's your agent or the insurance company, just to update them that there's this claim going on. I'm waiting for the abstract, and once I get it, I'll fill in my forms and bring them. So in the claim form, you'll fill in the details of the accident, the details of the driver who was driving, and then attach a copy of your license and your ID, and now take all of these to the insurance company.
Okay.
Now from there, they'll advise you to take the vehicle to the assessment center or to the garage.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we come back to the aspect of time, and therefore we understand that there are issues that would get, the claims being delayed. Who then comes in to compensate for the time that is lost for the client who has religiously paid their insurance fee with the hope that in the event that an occurrence plays out, then I am catered for, because of course we pay not with the hope of having an accident or losing something, but then you hope that in the event that it happens, then you are sorted almost immediately, because you could be using this car for your daily activities, and therefore hugely it would distract your activities. So who is to pay for this time that is lost? And equally, is there a standard setup for any claims that you make? Like for instance, you say, well, this is the kind of claim, like you say, it's accidents, then we give it approximately 3 months, so it shouldn't surpass this or shouldn't go below this.
So there are regulations to this. The maximum time which an insurance company is given to settle your claim completely. And it was 90 days. But the main challenge is it's difficult to enforce it. Okay. Because you find that for this period, when the vehicle is at the garage, the only person bearing most of the loss is the vehicle owner. And there's no recourse to the insurance company at the moment when you can be able to recover this lost time. Right. Yes. So it's actually a challenge which we're going through even right now. So some clients or vehicle owners are taking an approach now on suing the insurance company. Yes. Okay. Yeah. If the delay is too long, they're taking it a step further and suing them. Because some of the delays are not even being caused by repairs. We have garages which take the vehicles to repair and then impound the vehicles and force the insurance company to pay them previous debts for them to be able to release the vehicles to the clients. Wow. Yes. Interesting. Yeah. So are there specific types of claims that one would argue, or it's based on the occurrence? Like for instance, if it's an accident or maybe it's theft and all that. Yeah. In terms of? In terms of, the types of claims that are in existence now. That's why I'm asking. Or what determines, related to motor. Yeah. There are different types of claims. Okay. So in motor, there are three main types of claims. Okay. So the first one is just the windscreen. So it's usually a very simple claim. So once your windscreen is broken, that doesn't need to take long. Okay. You need to replace it immediately. So with that one, you just fill in a form, send it to them. They can even connect you directly with a replacement garage who will come where your vehicle is and replace your windscreen. So it's called windscreen and glasses type of claim. Then we have the accident. For the accident, as the one which I've described, where you have to go to the police station, get the abstract and take the vehicle to the garage. We also have theft. Now for theft, you still have to report to the police station. But now since you don't have your car, the insurance company will have to do an investigation. And once the investigation finds that it's truly a theft case, they'll be able to refund you. But they won't refund you your full amount. So here, this is where they introduce something called an excess. So if your vehicle, you didn't have a car tracker, for example, they'll deduct 20%. If your vehicle was worth 1 million, they'll refund you 800,000.
But this information is never given to us when you're getting yourself into this business. Yes.
You know, the funny thing, all of this is included in a document called the policy document, which you're supposed to demand once you've purchased comprehensive insurance.
All right.
Yeah. And so if you had, let's say, a tracker, some companies only deduct 2.5% of the value of your car. So instead of 200,000, they deduct 25,000. So the meaning of this is, if you had an additional security feature, you are taking measures on your end to avoid such a scenario. And then we also have the third-party claims. So for third-party claim, this is where you're hit by a vehicle which is insured. You see, now you're not the person with the insurance, but you're hit by a vehicle which is insured. So you'll go and demand compensation from the vehicle owner and his or her insurance company. So that's also another type of claim, but that's mainly settled through court. Yes.
All right. Interesting. So it is a must for one to have an insurance for as long as you want to hit the road. That one is a must. Why is it mandatory? Why is it compulsory?
It's due to the exposure. Because in the event that it's not even mainly you as the vehicle owner, it's your exposure to your car which causes to other people. So once you enter the road, if your vehicle hits someone, for you to be able to compensate that person, the amounts can really go high. Because you don't just compensate them for the injury which you've caused. The additional cost, if this person is unable to work, you have to cover for that. In the future, if he's disabled, you have to pay for that. If in the unfortunate event that he dies, you have to pay for that. So that's where the insurance comes in, and that's the third-party insurance, which is included in all the classes of insurance.
All right.
Yes. So it's mainly for you to protect the other road users.
All right. So in this case, when you take comprehensive, therein there lies the third party
is always there. In all the motor vehicle insurances, the third party must be covered because that's the priority. And that's why the minimum insurance for you to have before you enter the road is the third party.
All right.
Yes.
So we are at this point where we're talking about the borders. And I am keen to understand how different it is for the borders, for the tuk-tuks in comparison to the kawaida vehicles that we have.
So for them, they still have the same classes of insurance as motor. So they have the third-party only insurance. They also have a comprehensive insurance and the third-party fire and theft insurance. So the difference comes in, let's say it's a PSV. If it's a boda which carries passengers, they have to get a separate insurance. So that's the PSV motorcycle insurance, which also insures the passenger, the pillion passenger, which is not covered in the ordinary motorcycle insurance. But in terms of practice, it's purely the same as motor. All
right. So in this case, like the lady who hit the boda person, then it becomes what really plays out in this case. So it's for them to compensate.
In such a scenario, so since the motor vehicle hit the boda, the person who was injured in the boda is supposed to launch a claim. So sue for damages to the vehicle owner and also get details of the insurance company of the vehicle owner. So the insurance company is included in that case. And then this vehicle owner has to take these court documents to the insurance company. So first of all, she has to report that she hit someone. So once she reports this to the insurance company, so the boda person who was injured is supposed to have gone to hospital. So they'll get all the receipts and all that, You know, their lawyer will be able to represent them now in court and sue for damages.
Okay.
Yes.
And so in this case, border riders as well could be have insurances that would cater for their passengers in the event of an accident. Yeah. Look at this scenario, and I have seen it play out. Someone is on the border, and they're hit. Yeah. They're hit by a car. Well, at this particular point, if you're looking at the laws of the land, maybe it was a U-turn, and maybe the border person was not standing on the right spot, and then this person hit them without having to know. Sometimes you find that the client that they are, ferrying from one point to another doesn't even have a helmet, and so there's a bit of confusion in there, because the border rider knows very well that they're supposed to be compensated by the other motorist, the other person who's on the vehicle, but at the same time there are a lot of laws that they have flouted in between. Who is to be compensated in this case? And now the client who was being ferried from point A to point B, do they get compensation from both the rider and the person who hit them?
No, so that depends. Okay. So if the mistake is caused by the border rider, so the motorcycle owner is to blame. Okay. So that's why they have to take the PSV insurance. Insurance. So the insurance of the motorcycle will have to compensate the client. The client. Okay. Because they have something called the passenger legal liability. So that means if you're carrying this passenger, you have a legal liability. So in the event that you cause an accident, it's also the same for matatus and the taxis. Okay. If you cause an accident, your passenger can sue you and also sue your insurance company. Oh. Yes, for damages.
For damages. And so if unfortunately they were hit and maybe the vehicle of this other person got some damages, what happens in that case? The insurance then will take care of that? So
there, let's say, take a scenario, let's say the vehicle owner had comprehensive insurance. Okay. So the vehicle owner, if their vehicle is damaged by an accident caused by the motorcycle, they just take the vehicle, the same procedure, and the insurance company will be able to compensate, and then the insurance company will seek the cost from the insurance company of the motorcycle.
Of the motorcycle.
Okay? So if the vehicle owner was a third party, now they'll have to sue the motorcycle and the insurance company of the motorcycle.
Interesting. Yes. All right. So what are some of the major challenges in the management of general insurance claims that and how do we get to address them over time?
I can say the main challenge at the moment is there's purely a lack of trust within the industry. Once you get a claim, the first thing you feel is a sense of worry.
Right, I know. It's worrisome. They've been worrisome over time.
Will this thing be
sailed through?
And how long will it take? It's actually a problem. Personally, I've been to a couple of times. You report, you write emails, you feel like there's nothing being done. Really, because if you have claims spanning over 4, 5, even close to 1 year at the moment, and you feel like you lose confidence now within the industry. But the main problem here comes in that you find the insurance company has not refused to pay, but is unable to pay. Which is a key regulatory issue, and once it reaches there, that's purely compliance. So that's a duty of IRA to crack down on compliance and ensure each insurance company
is
before they issue a particular cover, they must be able to prove.
Okay.
And this is caused by overlooking some of the requirements, mainly in actuarial. So you find that there's supposed to be someone or a department, an actuarial department, looking at the risks and the exposures, and trying to find out in the probability that we have these claims, will we have the capacity to settle them? Not just making sales and claiming that you sold this amount of insurance, but you really need to consider for this amount of insurance which you sold, are really having the capacity to be able to settle the claims efficiently when they arise.
Wow, interesting. Hit and run cases?
Hit and run cases, if you have the details of the vehicle,
you're safe.
Yeah, you're safe, because the investigation will be done, and at least nowadays it's not like before. once you have the registration number, you can get the contact of the vehicle owner. Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, Muongi, there is so much that I'd love to ask, but time again is also not on our side. So in a nutshell, as we sum up, we still have lots of fears, and it's quite a worrisome space. And that's the reason why I started by asking, must you have it? Because there are people who would feel like they've not gotten benefit out of it. And, you know, there are people who will say, we pay, we've never gotten an accident, so where does this money disappear to? It ends at that level, that you have paid and that's it?
No, we're really trying to look for solutions to this. Like at the moment, we're trying to consolidate, you know, trying to build a portfolio and analyzing these risks. So we have a Facebook page called Kenya Claims Help. So here people are really sharing the experiences, and they're trying to look at solutions. And so we've partnered with some lawyers, fellow agents and brokers, and also some insurance companies are on board, because some of the cases are purely fraud. You find someone paid insurance to an intermediary, the person edited the insurance certificate, gave them a fake insurance. So when they get a claim, the insurance company denies to pay, but this person sent the money to the intermediary. So those are really fraud cases. You know, you report them to the relevant authorities. We're really trying to streamline things. And then once we get this, we are able to predict now a trend. You know, once, let's say in a particular month, we're getting a lot of complaints about an insurance company. So that's a red flag. So we're able to advise each other, you know, this needs to be looked into. And let's say we have a similar case. We are able now to merge together and follow it up. Because also another problem which you're finding, let's say you have a claim with an insurance company. You go there today, you're told, come after 2 weeks. After another hour, someone else comes, told, come after 1 month. You see, once you're doing that, none of you is really being taken with the seriousness which it deserves. You know, but once you come together, you're really able now to pressure on these guys. And if it's something which is a mismanagement issue, you capture the attention of the management and the public, and you're able to be resolved faster and quicker. Yes.
Well put. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you mentioned the lawyers. That is a story for another day, because it is at this point where you have to engage the lawyer. And, you know, they will give you stories like, oh, you know, now the insurance lawyer has to get their cut on this, well, has 20% has to go to them. And the claim is made, maybe you're supposed to be given money. If it's about 800,000 that you're supposed to be given, before you know it, you're only getting 150,000. Lots of stories there and you know, you really need to ask yourself just how is it happening, and the lawyer will tell you that is the case. If you don't want, we're not pushing, and that's it. Some of the people will actually let the claims go somewhere on the way because of the frustration that comes along with that. So I really hope that this space that you have taken will be, you know, instrumental in terms of, you know, creating some level of sanity. You say it's Kenya Claims Help. All right, probably how do people get to have a hold of you aside from Kenya Claims Help?
So we also have a website, www.claims.co.ke, and they can also reach us on phone. That's 0723 645 810. Yes. There
you go. And thank you so much once again, Joseph Muongi, for speaking to us. Great insights right there. We all have probably had an experience with this. If not firsthand, then at least we've had relatives that have to go through these tough times of making claims. And unfortunately, we'll not be able to look at the other aspects of claims aside from the motor world, but we can hope that we'll have a hold of you some other time for more on this. Remember, it's continuous, and therefore the learning process, well, does not end there. Principal Officer, Online Advisors Insurance Agency Limited. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thanks,
on this very note, we close it, but not in totality. We hit the gym in a few.